Hey everyone, and welcome back to Authentic Worth Publishing. I do hope you're well. My name is Esther Jacob, and I'm the founder of Authentic Worth Publishing, and I'm also an author of 5 books. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be speaking about 2 major important things that you must know right now. The first thing you need to know is how to launch your book. And I'm going to talk about that in greater depth very soon. But the first thing that I want to announce to you, my lovely people, is that I received an award last weekend from the Wise Women Awards for the 17th annual UK and European Wise Women Awards 2022 ceremony. And this is for Christian Book Awards presented to myself, Esther Jacob, for making vast positive and Christian impacts through your books. A woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. And this is the plaque that I received last week, Saturday. Now, apologies if you can't see the writing properly. I'm going to try my best to come as close as I can. But I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of those that has nominated me for this award. It was so beautiful. The women coming together, celebrating one another, bringing confidence back into each other. That's what we need in this generation. Due to the fact that this was my first experience in getting an award, I didn't really know what to expect, but the flow of the ceremony was amazing. And I also want to say a massive thank you to Pastor Marjorie, who was able to host this event for all of us. It does happen every year, so what I'm going to do is link more information about how you can get involved through the website below. The books that we publish are not for us, it's always for the community, and it's always to bring that encouragement and that light, to share that positivity in the lives of others. I really encourage you, ladies and men, to get yourselves out there. Don't be afraid, don't hold back, don't think that your book won't be successful. If I didn't make the steps that I made to get to where I am today, there would not be any Authentic Worth. And I remember doing a video previously about the purpose behind why I started Authentic Worth. So if you haven't watched that video, I would highly recommend you to watch that first before you continue this one. But without further ado, let's continue. So in today's video, I'm going to be speaking about how you can prepare for your book launch. Now, I am such a big advocate for book launches, and the reason why is because when a book is published, it is not meant to be hidden. Now, I'm going to take you back to my first book, It's Time to Heal, in 2016. I didn't know that I was going to have a book launch, but I knew that in order for me to get maximum effect of awareness and promotion and marketing, I had to promote this book well. Why? Because it deserved to be promoted, and it deserves to be in the hands of people that will read and benefit from it. And I remember taking my time, just thinking about the vision of how I wanted it to be. And what did I consider? I considered speakers, a host or an MC, people to work in the admin team. I needed people that would video the event for me, people that will take pictures for me, people that would open the community center and close it for me. There's so many things that you need to consider, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically list them one by one as we go along. So the first thing that you need to do is to understand the vision of your book launch. What kind of vision do you have for your book launch? Is it going to be a big book launch where you want a lot of people to come, or do you want it to be an intimate book launch only for family and friends? This is really down to you and the nature of your book. The second thing to remember is also venue and location, bearing in mind that everyone that will attend your book launch does not live around the same area. So some people will be coming from far more than others. You need to make sure that where you choose is suitable and accessible for people, and also requires good parking facilities as well for those who want to drive. But if you go to a place where there's a lot of options for transportation, that is a very good place to go. So depending on where you go, it's down to you. Some of my friends, they live quite far and they were still able to come to my book launch, and my book launch is held at my church. What to consider as well as a third option are your speakers. So your speakers is what makes the book launch effective, but you need to make sure that you get speakers that are related to your vision and understands your book very well. Preferably, it would be good if you get speakers or performances, whether it be dance, solo artists, singers to understand the vision of your book, and they can ideally read the book to gain more insight into what the book entails. Also, it's important to have someone that will interview you on the day. So having more of like a Q&A forum where the MC or the host or a friend of yours can speak to you about your book, and they can ask you questions based on what inspired you to write your book. And I believe that is where people will be listening very attentively to what you have to say. So make sure that you choose someone that you trust and someone that can understand the vision of your book. The next thing to consider as well is refreshments. Very important. Depending on the time you do it, whether you do it in the early afternoon or the evening, having some form of food is very important because book launches can range from 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on the time and the people that you've chosen to help support your book launch. But having refreshments such as cupcakes, which can be personalized, which I was able to also take advantage of, as well as soft drinks, fruits, sweets, chocolates, just light bites, sandwiches, things that are very easy and not messy. So for example, I would highly avoid rice because I tell you, it takes a lot to cook, and it takes a lot, especially when you're cleaning at the end of the book launch, which I'm going to go forward to, and very soon I'm going to talk about the things that you probably need to know when the book launch is over. So another thing that you need to consider as well is the timing. As I mentioned before, the timing of your event is very important, and why I say this is because how you start and how you finish will not be the same. Your timing is dependent on how much you can fit into the itinerary. So the best thing to do is to sit down, write down what comes first in the itinerary. It could be an opening session with an introductory and an icebreaker, and then bringing on the author to have a Q&A, and then having another performer. And then after that, getting everyone to interact. And then from there can be a break. After the break, there could be prize giveaways. Then after prize giveaways, there will be a spoken word or an exhortation, and then from there'll be opportunities for the audience to ask the author questions openly. And then from there you can also give away your book for free, about maybe 1 or 2. Every time I would publish a book, I would always give 1 out at my book launches. So my first book launch, It's Time to Heal, I gave out 1. For my second book launch, I gave out 2. So that was It's Time to Heal and Completion. My third book launch, I gave out 3, which was It's Time to Heal, Completion, and From Glory to Glory, all in that order. So it makes it very exciting. So your main purpose of why you want to give your audience a free book, I'm laughing so much because I'm remembering the joys of people getting a raffle ticket and wanting to win. And not just a book that I gave them, but there were prize giveaways, there were sweets, there were goodie bags, there were pens, there were bookmarks, there were items to add value to the book. And that's one thing I want to encourage you with. When you give someone a book, make sure you sign it and add a few more things into it to remind them how precious they are and how thankful you are that they came to your launch. So towards the end of the launch, you also have to make sure that you have people who are reliable and can help you when you're signing your books, and you can get someone to basically focus on the finances side of the launch, because it's very easy to focus on doing everything yourself as the author, but you do need a team. And I really emphasize on this a lot. Even our previous workshop that we had in January on how you can prepare for a book launch entails this very much. So be very mindful of the people that you choose to help you with your book launch. It is very important. Now, focusing on the aftermath of the launch, what you will need to bear in mind is cleaning up. In as much as it's fun to get many people to come to celebrate your book, you will be very responsible for making sure that you clean up the venue. And it's very important to have friends that are going to be reliable, that they'll be able to take the burden off your shoulder as an author. The majority of the time, thankfully, I was able to secure a lot of people that were able to help me in terms of making sure the building was neat. But most times that is something that you do need to consider. Secondly, you need to bear in mind that if your books don't sell at once, it's okay. You can utilize the remaining books for those who were not able to attend your launch and sign it to them personally and send it to them via post. That's one thing that I was able to do for my first launch. So I bought 100 books for my first launch and I sold 70, remaining 30. And I was able to utilize those remaining books to speak at events and also send them to friends and family members via post, and also meet up with people face to face. So there are different ways that you can still continue having the book launch even after it is done. Another thing that you need to consider as well is people's timing. Some people, i.e. some of the speakers, may need to go earlier, or they're more likely to stay for the whole duration. If you know that one of your speakers has to leave early, you're better off letting them be first and let them go around the break. Quite a lot of people do this because they have a lot of events happening throughout Saturday, and we know that Saturday is a very busy day to have a launch. But if I am to do it on a weekday, I have to consider the fact that people will be working, although it will be much more affordable. All my experiences for my book launches have been amazing in their own ways. My fourth and fifth book launch was held online because of the pandemic, relative to my first 3 book launches that were done face to face. And this was really good, and I enjoyed the whole process. And all the videos are on my personal YouTube channel, which is Esther NJ. But what I'll do to make it easier for you is link all the videos in this description bar below for you to watch in your own time. It is very important, as I mentioned before, to have a vision for your book launch and also a theme color. Now, my theme color for my first book was orange, my second one was blue, and my third one was gold and white. Now, it's very important that the theme of your book launch really radiates in the atmosphere of where you're going to be holding your book launch. You can consider hiring out balloons, getting someone to decorate the hall for you. Yes, that will be an expense, but it will be a very good expense that you will make back, not only from your books, but those who are willing to sponsor you. As long as you are a first-time starter, don't be afraid to reach out to people who have had book launches before. And for this reason, we now provide a one-to-one bespoke book launch service for aspiring authors that have published their books and are looking to take their book to another level. So for more information about that, you can find it on our website on authenticworth.com/publishing services. And it's really important as authors to remember that when the book is out, you need to market it effectively, but you also need to know your target market as well. If you don't have the time to do a book launch face to face, you can also have it online, just like I did with my fourth and my fifth book, and it was really good as well. But I am hoping going forwards that we will start continuing our book launches face to face. But for those who do prefer to do their book launches online, it's a very good way of saving money, and it's also a very good way of securing more people to come. So if you are looking to do your book launch online, it's still a good way of being able to market yourself effectively, and it gives everyone the opportunity to be flexible at the comfort of their own home. But ideally, most book launches are more vibrant and more live when you do it physically, because you don't know who's going to come and you don't know the people that you're going to meet and connect with. So do bear that in mind as well. So other than that, these are a few top tips that I want to share with you, and I really hope that it has inspired you to think about how you want to go about doing your own book launch. Another thing that you also need to consider is also hiring a team or getting people to volunteer to make the hall look beautiful. So that could be a day before the actual launch. For my book launch, I was able to go on a Friday to decorate the hall, set up the chairs and the tables for Saturday. So the day I came, all I had to do was bring my books and the snacks, and that was it. And then thankfully I had the admin team to help me go through all the attendees to confirm that they were coming. So it's very important that you get reliable people that can help you when it comes to the preparation of your launch. Another thing I'm also going to say is make sure you start on time, or try to endeavor to start on time, and really put a lot of emphasis on your speakers and those who will be supporting you at your launch, because many people will be coming from far and wide, and you do need to honor their time should in case they have other places to go. Now, I can't give you a rough estimate of how much your book launch will cost because it does depend on the number of books you buy and the people that will be working for you. Some may charge, other people will do it voluntarily to support you. So it's very important to remember that everyone is different, so therefore you need to budget very effectively. Whether this is people who will help you to contribute to the food, that is a very big burden off your shoulder as the author. The only main thing that you probably will be doing is buying the books in bulk. So these are the basic packages of what you need when it comes to preparing for your book launch. And I'm really hoping that you found this very useful. For those of you who would like to contact Authentic Worth or gain more insight into how you can prepare your book launch, email info@authenticworth.com for further information and we will get back to you. I'm hoping that this video has inspired you and has prepared you on how you can start your first book launch, or even if it's not your first book launch and you've had many others, let us share ideas on the tips that you've done to prepare for your book launch and let us know how it went. It'll be great to know. Thank you also to our new subscribers. We really hope that you are enjoying the content so far and I look forward to hearing from you very soon. If you also have any other questions relating to book queries or anything to do with marketing, promotion, or ideally you want to start writing your first book, please do not hesitate to email us as well on info@authenticworth.com. All the best with planning your launch and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye!